the RTX 5090, 5080, and 5070, with the base obvious, like, you know, big graphics card with the 5090 retailing at $1999, partying like it's 1999. Now, the more budget-friendly graphics card of this generation with the 5080 is going to retail at $1,000, and then the 5070 is going to retail at $749, which is going to be announced at a later date in February. Both the 5090 and 5080 are going to be available for pre-order later this month, and I just gotta say, man, this is not for me. Now, the big thing with this showcase is the new Blackwell architecture technology that's gonna be good for a lot of AI generated content. Like Jensen Huang, he had this whole keynote to where he showed an entire AI generated segment. Like, this whole thing here is AI generated using, you know, the new DLSS generation, DLSS 4. And I gotta admit, just like my guy's new insane sparkly rattlesnake jacket, everything about this, you know, just looks really shiny and sick. But like you'd expect, the 50 series trumps the 40 series in almost every way, mostly due to, like I said, it's DLSS frame generation. Like, the big thing that they said, that they're generating like up to 3 times more frames with, you know, the help of AI, and, you know, it's Blackwell technology. So we're seeing games here like Cyberpunk 2027 with already amazing FPS over 100, now seeing FPS at 237 with DLSS 4 and, you know, full ray tracing turned on, which is crazy. But like, what's wrong with 100? Like that's a dream for me. And on top of the already steep price tag, the new 5090, it needs a PSU requirement of 1,000 watts. So, you know, if your freaking power supply isn't, you know, chugging out as much energy as it needs to be, you're definitely going to be seeing an enhancement not only on the price to pay for a new power supply, but also on your, you know, electronic bill. Each new graphics card having new GDDR7 memory, with the 5090 having 32 gigs of the memory, and then the 5080, 5070 Ti, and the 5070 all having 16 gigs of that memory. PCI Gen 5, DisplayPort 2.1 connectors, and drive that displays up to 8K and 165 Hertz. It's, you know, state-of-the-art, top of the line, as you would expect for that price point. But again, I don't think there's any, you know, rational human being that would upgrade to a 5090 if you already have like a 4090. Like, I mean, the more, you know, realistic, I would say, like, upgrade if you have like maybe a 1650 legacy card or like a 1060, maybe you would get like the 5070 for $749. Like, that I would say is a worthy upgrade, since there is a lot of gamers that still, you know, game on legacy cards that are, you know, being, you know, out and not supported anymore. But other than that, man, the 50 series is really just for those that are for YouTubers that want to exploit, you know, the view count that, you know, surrounds all these things so that they can, like, you know, review it and all that shit. But for regular human beings that can barely, you know, take advantage of all these new features, like all these AI generated features, it's not for me. And I just think that we're really reaching a point where, you know, graphics overall is just, you know, starting to stagnate. Obviously, we do have room for innovation, and like we have here the AI generated scene, and, you know, having graphics that look just more realistic, nothing groundbreaking, because we already have games like freaking Body Cam that literally looks like GoPro footage. You know, that game is insane to look at, and we're gonna have more games like that in the future. But again, trying to justify $2,000 now for something like that is, you know, pretty insane. I have no doubt that this thing is going to be scalped, you know, pre-order sold out the first day, like always with all, you know, NVIDIA cards. But I just think that for the regular consumer, this is not a must get. Like, I don't see myself owning a 50 series anytime soon at all.